Grew up in Utah, born in Utah, moved to California, Southern Cal for a few years, and then came back by the time I was 5. Grew up specifically in the Ogden SDA Church and went to Demude, their church school, for 8 years. Went to a Baptist Academy for a little while, then I went away to Rio Lindo Adventist Academy in California, and it was on return from my first year at Rio that I was canvassing with Heather in Utah, doing literature evangelism work. That we had met when we were 10 and 11, but the box glasses and the prairie dress didn't catch my eye the same way as when I saw her just living for God that summer, and she was gorgeous inside and out, and of course it took several more years before I actually could marry her, but pretty much knew, wrote in my journal, Lord, I found my wife, I hope you agree. And he did agree. It just took a long time for him to agree, I guess. Well, I technically started at Pacific Union College for a year, but I was aviation, pre-med, a number of things. It was after I left PUC and went on a mission to Egypt for a year that I became convinced that I really, theology was where I wanted to focus my studies. I had a wonderful time as a youth pastor there on the campus of Nile Union Academy, so I came back to Southern to finish. I kind of always liked the idea of being a pastor as a kid, but I liked the idea of being a whole bunch of things. And most of them earned more money than a pastor, so the idea of a pastor kind of faded from my mind until I was a junior in high school, and I got to help out in my academy. I helped sort of as a youth pastor, but mostly just helping out both the youth pastor and the senior pastor. And then my senior year, I got much more involved with campus ministries and decided that whatever I was going to do was going to be full-time ministry. Even if I was going to be a doctor, I wanted to do it for the church. So I would say my sophomore through senior year really solidified a call to ministry. Pastoral ministry, that took a couple more years. When I was in Egypt, pastoral ministry became exciting to me in a way it hadn't been before. My favorite part of ministry is deep relationships, getting to get to know people on a deep level and just living out the gospel with them, the messy part of ministry that isn't always so pretty, but in the end it's so rich, and you leave with just your life changed, people's lives changed. I know that my wife and I like people in our home. That's probably our favorite venue of ministry, is having people over for Sabbath lunch, or people sometimes, staying for the weekend, and just getting to have immersive children running all around, life ministry, and just having fun with people, and getting to see the breadth of the gospel as it's really lived out. I think that's the most exciting part, and that happens usually in a small group setting, usually in the intimacy of our home.
I love being a pastor's wife. I like that we get to work together as a team in a way that we might not be able to if he had a 9-to-5 job. I just love that he's able to be with our children more often, and that we can minister as a family to others. And that's really neat for me. To me, this day is special because it's a chance for people that we really care about to affirm the calling that God's placed on his life and my life as well. I just think it's neat to know that we have the support of a really great conference and of close friends who have mentored us as we've grown in our own relationship with God.
I understand the concept of ordination, and I think that just logistically, you need to have some means of taking time to see who really is called and who's really going to be faithful to that calling in ministry. Ordination, as it's done today, kind of intimidates me. It's a bit of a, what this day means is a big lump in my throat, but it's not because I don't like the idea of people I respect affirming my call to ministry. That concept is precious to me, and I've come to really appreciate this conference and getting to see some of the men that I look up to so much affirming my call to ministry. That is very appealing to me, and that's exciting. The ceremony of it all, I would rather do it in the conference office with a few close friends. I mean, but that's not what the day means. That's just I have a degree of awkwardness with ceremony. I've skipped every graduation I've ever had. So, but the meaning is people I care about affirming my call and standing with me to support me in my future ministry. That's special.